So you think you know Wix, but do you really?
Hello everybody and welcome to sunny Martinsville Speedway right here. We're here for the Fast Cash Racing Product Series here at Martinsville Speedway here. A lot of drivers who are signing up for this race here today. Below, with just 5 minutes to go right on the dot here in practice, we'll take a look through your fastest drivers right here right now. Currently Andrew White, your fastest driver right now on track. His fastest lap currently a 19.21. Corey Lyles in that number 77 Ford Performance Machine. P2, Kevin Hunsaker, once again a favorite here day in day out. P3, newcomer to the league, Evan Clapper in this number 94 Sunoco Chevy Camaro sitting P4. Joseph Tucker sitting P5. Cash Culp, your series sponsor, sitting P6 right here. Good practice run for him. Tane Hodgson in that Fast Cash Racing Products number 21 car, sitting in P7. Zach Klinsman, P8 right here. Dan Rabarchek, someone coming along with Evan Clapper right here, sitting in P9. Diego Rodriguez in that number Michigan number 3 car. Chris Maxwell in that number 6 Michigan University car. Cooper Nash right now in that number 55 Cabela's scheme in P12. And Matthew Gary currently off the track right now, sitting P13. So Martinsville, commonly being known as the paperclip, obviously this is one of the most iconic short tracks on the circuit, especially in the NASCAR Cup Series. And as you can see, super short track, super hard to pass here. You see this number 2 car, Andrew White right now, currently your fastest driver. Trying to make it pass here, but it's just going to be about being consistent. You know, you saw that number 55 car of Cooper Nash right there hit that apron, and that's super hard to do. You also see Andrew White right here. You can see him just locking up the tires. You have to get this brake bias and just set the car up completely and to where you can be completely in sync with the car. It's super easy to overstep the corners. It's super easy to get into the person behind you, and it's super easy to overstep and almost like punt someone out of the way. These short tracks, are most commonly known for the move called the bump and run at the end of these races, where it's 2, 3, even white flag to go, and you're racing for a win here. You see the number 2 car get a little sideways right here, and you'll see them put their front end right against the back end and just move the car out of the way, and try to race them off the corner for this win here. So Martinsville, one of the most notorious tracks for this, especially back in the Gen 6 and the Gen 4 days and stuff. You saw Dale Earnhardt make that move very popular back in the day in the early 90s, in the late 90s also. So you might see that a lot here. The bumper run not very as useful in these next gen cars just because of, you know, the new technology with the new tires, with the diffuser. These cars are so planted to the ground, you know, you can really hit the back end of these next gen cars and not worry about you know, moving someone out of the way. The cars are so planted here that really doesn't matter. As we'll take some laps with Evan Clapper here right now. Once again, still sitting P4 with a best time of 19.336. Once again, Evan new to this league, but Evan not new to iRacing. Has run in a lot of other leagues here and there. So watch out for Evan Clapper to maybe make some noise here in his debut. Same thing with Dan Rybarczyk, also making his Cup Series debut here in this league, but definitely not someone to keep in mind to race for this one. You see Evan right there get a little tight, getting in the wall. He's got to park it on track, probably get a new car reset. You see Joseph Tucker right here in that number 39 Ghost machine right there, battling out with Corey Lyles right here. Corey currently P2, Joseph Tucker currently P5 on track right now, and this really shows. You see the number 77 right there. Just lock up the tires, and when you lock up those tires, the car just wants to go straight. It will not rotate on you. So you have to get this brake bias set to where it's perfect, to where you can get it rotate. You see the number 39 and lock up the rears right there. You have to get the brake bias set just perfectly to where you can be super hard and aggressive into the corners without locking up the tires. But also, you need to have it set to where you're also not gonna, you know, when you break the car down, right? It's not gonna, the back end isn't gonna step around on you and spin out. Looks like a lot of these drivers setting up to be more when the tires are going to lock up more than the car flipping around on them. But with 10 seconds left of practice right here, we're going to get ready to go here and hit qualifying. So your fastest in practice: Andrew White, Corey Lyles, Evan Clapper, Kevin Hunsaker, Joseph Tucker, Cash Colt, Teen Hodgson, Diego Rodriguez, Zachary Klinsman, and Dan Rybarczyk, rounding out your top 10 in practice. Now these drivers get 2 qualifying laps around here, so they'll get 1 out lap, and then they will start their 2 qualifying laps here. So let's see who's first on out here. I forgot, we do have group qualifying here in the Fast Cash Racing Products series here. So all these drivers are going to go out, and they're going to try to make clean laps here. We're going to go on board right here with Evan Clapper. And this is going to be very difficult for a track like here at Martinsville. I anticipate these drivers are going to try to, you know, get kind of spread out here and try to not make contact. Because if you make even a little bit of contact with the wall, not only with the wall or with, you know, something else, but even if you make contact with another competitor, that lap does not count. And you saw this qualifying very popularized in the mid 2000s, mid 2010s. My apologies. And you see it coming back here. We saw that happen last week here at Bristol when Jeff Perchatsky was here in the booth with me. You see Evan take a little spin around right there. But let's go on board right now. Let's see who's your fastest in qualifying right now. Currently Andrew White, who has parked that car down there with a 19.1. Let's go on board with Evan to see if he can go us around this track right here. Like he's gonna park the car. We'll go on board with someone else. Kevin Hunsaker we're on board with right now. This number 9 in Napa car. You see them. You're gonna really want to hug that apron right there and try to get the best drive off without, you know, getting that rear end stepping out, because it's so easy to get in that throttle too early and loosen this car up and, you know, upset the car, just like you see that number 13 of Rybarczyk doing. It's just so easy to get into their gas a little too early and just stepping the car out. Right now, Hunsaker sitting a P2 lap right there with a 19.2, and you see him getting to the back end of the number 55 of Cooper Nash right there. And that will avoid Cooper's lap, so Cooper's probably not the most happy with that little maneuver that just happened there. But obviously, 2.5 minutes left in practice. There's still quite a bit of time to set a lap right now. Cash Colt, P4 in qualifying right here with a 19.2428. Cash Colt obviously drives in real life. He drives dirt over where he resides, and so I feel like short track racing and the dirt racing really do kind of go hand in hand, which is how you have to attack the corners, how you have to race the tracks, especially at a track like Martinsville, where you have to, hit your marks. How you have to hit your marks and just be precise. Like when you're racing dirt, especially when you're ripping the cushion and stuff like that on the bottom. As a dirt racer personally, back in my heyday, I know how easy it is just to overstep the car here, and it's super easy to do here and at Martinsville here when it comes to just locking up the tires and stuff. So, but right now Cash goes down to P5 right now. Joseph Tucker takes the P4 spot in that number 39 Ghost Racing Machine. You see him wrap this corner. That's a really good 3 and 4 right there. You actually saw him hit the apron just a little tiny bit, which and if you do it just right, will actually help the car rotate, because it'll kind of get those left sides bounced up, and it'll almost kind of rotate the car for you. You see him take a little spin right there. But we'll go on board with Dan Rybarczyk right here, currently P5. Cash Colt down to P7 now. You see Dan Rybarczyk trying to make a good lap right now. Best lap for him right now, a 19.387. Let's see if he can make something out of this. "45 seconds left in qualifying." I mean, when you're running 19-second laps here, there's still quite a bit of time for you to make a good quality lap here. With under a minute, a lot of time, that's when you panic and you have to try to get out there and try to make something out of nothing. But you see Dan right now still cannot beat that time. His last lap at 19.404. See Cooper Nash right here, sitting P9 right now. As Corey Lyles goes top of the board here in qualifying with 10 seconds to go. So for everybody else, most likely this is gonna be their, this is where they're gonna sit. There might be a couple of people coming out of 3 and 4 that can improve, as we see Zachary Klinsman with the buzzer beaten hitting, making his way up in the 10th spot here in qualifying. But now with qualifying done, we're doing some cool down laps real quick. A little cool down, a little 20-second cool down, and then we'll get your your starting grid here at Martinsville. Waiting on all these cars to grid up. So starting on row 1 will be Andrew White with Corey Lyles starting in P2. Kevin Hunsaker and Cash Colt round out your second row here at Martinsville. Joseph Tucker and Dan Rybarczyk, P5 and P6 here at Martinsville. Evan Clapper at number 94 and Tane Hodgson round out row 4. Cooper Nash and Zachary Klinsman gonna round out row 5. Diego Rodriguez in at number 3 Ford Mustang with Chris Maxwell is gonna round out row 6. And Matthew Gary will round out your field here at Martinsville. Lights are off on the pace car right here, as we're going to get ready to go green right here. Lights are off on the pace car, so we will be going green this time by. So 125 laps here at Martinsville. So a long race for these drivers, a long grueling race, and for a lot of these drivers, it's going to be about a race for nutrition, of attrition. But we're going to see the pace car dip down pit road right here. And he's second now. We're going to hand this race over to Barney. And we're going to be green here at Martinsville. The Andrew White already coming down pit road there. Mistake for the driver in the number 2 car already. But we see Corey Lyles already out to the lead right here with Kevin Hunsaker right now, trying to hunt him down right now. Currently about 4 tenths behind the number 77 car. Cash Cope right here sitting in third, but we do have some drama back here. And we have a caution on lap 3. Let's take a look and see what happened here in the back. Looks like the number 39 of Joseph Tucker just cooking the corner a little bit too much. And you saw, and as we talked about in the pre-race, right, you can either set up this car to be good under braking and almost lock up the tires, or you can set it up right here where the back end will just swap around on you. And that's exactly what happened to this number 39 car. It just came around on them, and you can't really save it right there. Good for him to just lock it down, and great by the other drivers to get around this, because with how you know, narrow and how short this track is, it's super difficult to get around some of those carnages like that. We're back live here. I anticipate probably no one's gonna, except for maybe that number 39 car coming down. These drivers do have 4 extra sets of tires here. So 250 laps, they're gonna have to use those very sparingly. 5 sets of tires is, 4 sets of tires. My apologies. 4 sets of tires, is not a lot, but I mean, I've definitely seen less amount of tires for this long amount of a race. So, we see Andrew White up here leading this pack. We see Andrew right now currently. This is still on the lead lap, but, so, I'm not sure what happened with Andrew right here, but did start up here in the pole, and then elected to go down pit road. Maybe a hardware issue, something of the case, but we did see him go down pit road, but he will go around the pace car right here. Did not go a lap down, I believe, so he will wave his car back around. While we wait on everything, we're gonna go back and watch this wreck here. We saw Cooper Nash around this wreck. We'll go back and watch this wreck from Cooper Nash's point of view. See if we can find this. Go on. See if we can find Cooper Nash is on board right here. You see him. Oh, look at that. Getting around the 13, getting around this number 39, and just barely squeezes through. That's a great avoidance by that number 55 car right there. And you see that car clean, that's exactly what you need right there. No pass repairs for this league, so I mean, that's exactly what you need to see. You need to be doing as a driver, getting around these wrecks. So great avoidance by Cooper Nash doing that number 55 Ford Mustang. But we are choosing, so Corey Lyles electing the inside here. And we see Andrew White still up there. I presume he should be getting waved around, right? Because it still shows Andrew White 12th place 18 point. There he goes. Andrew's going to be going around getting his lap back. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to that number 2 Auto Trader Ford Mustang, but definitely it was good that he did not go a lap down. So he's still not out of it. But we are green here. Corey Lyles with a great jump over the number 9 of Kevin Hunsaker here. You see not Cooper Nash, Cash Colt sneaking his way into P3s. You see the 55 and the 94 getting sideways. Is that going to be a caution? It looks like everybody saved it there, but we'll definitely go back and take a look at what happened there. Looks like the 55 just locks up the tires, and Evan right there is just along for the ride. Great saves by both those drivers. You see Evan clobber the wall a little bit here, I presume. Yeah, and we have a caution again. We'll see what's going on here. Looks like Andrew White maybe might be a part of this. Joseph Tucker maybe, again, having an issue. It looks like it was Joseph Tucker once again. It's like trying to go underneath Evan Clapper. It's the curb, and there you go. Just that's how easy it is. Oh, and the number 3 of Diego once again caught up in another wreck, man. Diego has not had the best luck at all this season. I think every race that I've broadcasted here, Diego's gotten caught up in something out of his doing. But you see that number 39, he just caught the wall. He caught that apron, and what happens is the car will start to spin out, and you're trying to correct it, and just overcorrect it, and pow, that outside wall it goes. Yeah, Diego, I mean, I feel sorry for him, man. He has not caught a break all season since I've at least started broadcasting this league, and you see him right there. Heavy front end damage to that number 3 Michigan University Ford Mustang, and I gotta feel for him, man. But with no one really in the booth, there's no one really to drag up, and it's difficult for me with the way the Discord's set up to drag everybody up. So we will stay here with you guys, just me and you fans at home. Corey Lyles still continuing the lead here. We'll go to him as soon as I can find my mouse. There it is. Corey Lyles right there in the number 77. You know he's going to be a contender. Every race he's done here, he's, you know, at least contended for a podium here. And you know he's going to contend here once again at Martinsville. But we see Corey Lyles. I mean, like I just said, he's going to be a contender. We know Kevin's going to be up there. He's been battling for a win basically every week since I've been here. You see Cash Cope up here, a really good started this race for him, sitting up here in this P3 spot. Daniel Barczyk right now, a great run for him right now. Once again, his debut here in the Fast Cash Racing Products Cup Series. So making really good impressions for everybody that maybe didn't know about Dan. I've raced with Dan in other leagues, and I know he's very talented. Obviously, running a number 13 car, so. But we are choosing. You see Corey Lyles at like the bottom again. Kevin outside. Cash inside. Dan outside. Payne and Cooper will round out your third row. But you see Corey, Kevin, Cash, and Dan. Your fast four here at Martinsville. You see the pace car coming down, and we're going to hand this race over to Corey Lyles. And he's going to bring us back to green once he gets inside that Geico restart zone. Let's see what kind of jump he gets. A great jump for that number 77 car. And Cash is actually going to capitalize on the great jump as well. He's going to go inside of that number 9 car. See what he can do here on this inside with the track position. And we are, it looks like Cooper and Nash having some issues. It was about a 3-car wreck. I'm surprised that hasn't been a caution yet. We got both Michigan cars out and Cooper Nash. Cooper Nash spinning, trying to get this car collected. And there's the caution right there. Now let's take another look and see what happened there. I think this all stemmed from Cooper. It looks like he maybe got into the throttle a little. Yeah, it's just the same thing that happened with that number 39 car. Oh, and Andrew White with a huge hit right there. Just Cooper just got in there and the car just stepped out underneath him. We'll go on board with Andrew White here and we'll take a look at from what he saw here. You can go on the inside in that number 6 car of Chris Maxwell and just nowhere to go here. Just boom, a square hit to that nose, and definitely not happy. I mean, we know he's fast and we know he's a competitor, but not what you want to get caught up here with 20 laps complete here. As you see, oh, Andrew, that car definitely is not driving right. Unfortunate for that number 2 car. I mean, he's been in contention to win, and just, you know, every time he's been up there trying to battle, you see that number 3 car still sitting down there, Diego. Looks like he's going to try to get this car spun back around. Once again, Diego caught up in another wreck that I'm pretty sure not of his doing. I mean, we saw it was just Cooper, you know, swapping ends. And you see number 6 car making contact with his teammate there. But unfortunate for Diego right there. A lot of carnage on these first couple laps here. See Evan Clapper right there running P6. You know, he got caught up in that little scuffle between him and I think it was also Cooper, you know, losing it again under braking and tagged the rear end of Evan. But from what it looks like right here, not a lot of damage on that number 94 Sunoco car. So, but Cooper right now is sitting in the pits right here, probably getting some damage fixed. See Corey Lyles still leading this race. You see the top 3 have not really changed positions at all here. You see Dan still back here in P4. And you see Tane Hodgson. What a great run for him in that little SpongeBob Fast Cash Racing Products Ford Mustang right there. He's putting himself in the position to maybe even go up there and race for one. Sitting P5 right here. I mean, it's still a long race to go, but you saw him being really competitive over at Atlanta, trying to work with his teammate. Just couldn't get it done there. Maybe he can see him get a shot in the back by that number 94 car. Looks like there's just a little checkup. You see the 94 Evan Clapper just getting in the back end a little bit, but you see that number 21 car right now sitting in P5. We're going to be choosing this time. You see Corey Lyles like in the inside. Yeah, it seems like everybody's content just kind of running the lines they are, so see the number 13 blink out right there. But with the 13 and the 94 teammates right here, we'll see how they're going to work with each other. We see Andrew White coming out here. I think Andrew currently still on the lead lap, so trying to mitigate all the damage he could from that last lap wreck. But pace car is going to be in, and once again, Corey Lyles is going to lead us to green here with coming the 25 laps complete here at Martinsville. Corey Lyles, once he gets in that restart zone, is going to start this race, and he's going to have another great jump here, starting the race here. See Cooper, you see Cash Colt trying to take advantage of starting on that inside. Let's see if he can get on the inside of this number 9 car. Cash just needs to rotate really well out of that. And you see the 9 getting into the wall there. That's going to allow Cash to take over that P2 spot. He just needs to clear the number 9 car, get a good drive off this corner, and you see him right there, taking that number 2 spot away from Kevin right here. Now it's his job to go down and try to chase down Corey Lyles in that number 77 car. See Evan Clapper all over his teammate right here in the number 13. You see the 13 lock up the tires a little bit, and I think he's just going to let this number 94 go. You know, I think he knows Evan's a little bit quicker right now. Evan, a really talented driver, and you see this number 13 starting to slide back. Side by side with Tane right here, but he's going to get a good drive off the corner. The Tane still has that inside line. And you see the 13 lock it up just a little bit right here. Maybe needs to make a little brake bias adjustment to where that's not going to be an issue. You see him drive it deep into this corner. And locking up a little bit of contact between the 21 and the 13 right there. But they're going to keep it there. And the number 13 is going to fall all the way back to 6th place right here. Let's see if Dan can, you know, get into a rhythm right here and maybe get some of these spots back. And now closest battle on track is between this 13 and the number 33 of Zach Klinsman right here. Zach trying to hunt this number 13 down and bring this 13 back down to 7th place right here. I think Dan right now has gotten to a little bit of a rhythm right now, and I think he's found where he wants to run right now. So hopefully he could get into a groove and start making up some time here on these top 5 drivers. See Kevin trying to hunt down the Cash Culp again, you know. Cash took advantage of that number 9 getting into the wall a couple laps ago. We see this number 9 starting to reel this number 57 car back in. You see Evan Clapper right here watching this battle, maybe trying to save his tires a little bit right here. You see a battle for second right here. You see number 9 getting underneath the number 57 right here. See Cash drive it really deep into the corner. He's going to lock up those tires. And that might allow the number 9 to get underneath him right here. Cash keeps the number 2 spot right here. What an impressive run by this driver in the number 57. I'll say that. Has not had the best luck. Obviously a team owner here in the Fast Cash Racing Products Cup Series. You see this number 9 car. You see that a little bit of right side damage to that number 9 car, but he's still going to try to fight this. And with all this fighting, that's allowed Evan Clapper to close in on this battle. As you see Cash and Evan. Oh, he's going to nose it in. That's going to be a caution. We saw that live, what happened there. We'll go back and take a look and see. I'm going to take a look right at Cash right here. This looks like he gets a little sideways, gets into the gas a little too soon. And that's always going to whip this car around. And you see that back end stepping out right there. He saves it, tries to get on the wall, and just Evan trying to avoid this wreck. Trying to wreck. Has to swerve around, and I think him trying to throttle up maybe. Just swung that car right around, and boom. He's going to KO that front end of that car. With no fast repairs, that's going to hurt for Mr. Clapper in a number 94 car, but looks like he's going to get that spun around. Not a lot of front end damage, so he didn't hit it that hard, so, but definitely not what you want to be doing here, so. To the number 42 car, Matthew Gary still in pit road. 35 laps down right now currently. Looks like not a lot of damage to that car, but you see also the number 33, Zach Klinsman, coming down taking 4 fresh Goodyear tires. And as we saw in the foreground, Evan coming down, probably trying to get some of that damage repaired from that incident with Cash. We have Diego back here. Even with that damage, they're running top 10. So great run by Diego right here. Just trying to stick it tough. Stick it out and trying to take advantage of every little thing that's given to him. Obviously, a lot of cars have gotten into some carnage here. And Diego's taking advantage of that right now, sitting in P10. Andrew White, after having that issue early in the race right now, is recovered to a P6. We know this driver's going to be fast, and he's going to try to drive through this field and try to be competitive. Not a lot of damage after that collision with the number, I think it was the 39 car, I believe. Not a lot of damage to that number 2 car now. See, literally, actually, it doesn't look like any. So, Boy, still see Corey Lyles. I think he's led every lap of this race. We can go ahead and check that out. We might have another Ryan Honeycutt incident from last week where he led every lap of that 250 lap race at Bristol except one, and that was under a green flag pit stop. Someone, I think it was the number 32 of McKinney, who led that one lap. But besides that, Ryan led every lap of that Bristol race with a dominating win. Once again, we choose here. Corey Lyles elects the bottom again. Kevin electing the outside, Cash P3. And Daniel Barczyk recovering up to a solid P4 here after all the calamity that's happened in these first couple laps. You'll see this pace car go off. That's going to lend the lead back over to Corey Lyles. We're going to hand this race back over to Barney, and he's going to lead us back to green. Oh, the number 9 is spinning, and so is the 13. Huge wreck up here at the front of this pack. Let's take a look and see what happened here. The 9 car just loops it on his own, and I don't know if that was a reactionary by Dan, but he also loops it around. Maybe he had some help here. Yeah, he got some help by the 21 of Tane. And that's a parking lot right there. You see the number 2 of Andrew White. After fixing all that damage, once again getting involved in something. But nowhere to go for a lot of these drivers. And you see people like Evan Clapper in the back here. He's literally stopping on track because there's nowhere else for him to go. So, calamity here at lap 42. And early, Corey Lyles and Cash Culp were the only ones to get away from that really cleanly. You saw Tane was the reason for that 13 to spin out. So, probably not the most amount of damage on that car, but obviously caused that second wreck by just kind of shivving that number 13 car out of the way and causing that secondary wreck after the number 9 looped it on his own. With all that calamity, you see Zach Klinsman right here. Started P10 up to P4 right here. What a great recovery right now. Obviously a long ways to go here at this Martinsville Speedway. But what a great recovery right now. Knocking on the door for this podium spot right here. As we will be choosing this time. You see the number 77 electing to choose the inside once again. He really loves that bottom when it comes to the restart because he can get just such a great jump on everybody else. I thought we were choosing this time. And I was mistaken. While we're under caution, let's take a look at your weather for the night's race. 69 degrees, that's a nice for everybody in chat. With the 2-mile-an-hour wind facing westward. And partly cloudy out here, so not completely sunny out here. A little bit of cloud cover over this Martinsville Speedway here in Martinsville. But we will be choosing this time. And as we predicted, Corey Lyles will choose that inside. We see Cash electing the outside. Tane making his way up all the way up into the top 3. And you see that number 2 car once again mimicking what he did that last time and trying to beat these cars back out. And he's going to try to make his way back around. But we see Dan, even after that spin, he's going to make his way up into the P4 spot. Pace car in one more time. And we're going to be green once again here at Martinsville. Great jump by that number 7070 car, and Cash Culp is going to take over that P2 spot. Tane Hodgson going to round out your podium with Dan with Barchek right now. Your fast four here at Martinsville after this restart. See a battle back here between the 9 and the 94, and you're going to see it almost 3 wide there as you see Evan Clapper make the pass up to P6 now, as he's going to hunt down this number 33 car for this top 5. You know, Evan and Kevin very fast here. Just needs a couple laps with no chaos right here for them to, you know, make some time up. See Kevin all over the back end of this number 94 car. You know, Kevin, you know, was running up in the podium all race, and then unfortunately, you know, had that incident. It looks like he's being really careful with Evan. I mean, I think they both know that they're quick and they need to make up time here. But we also have to think with that incident between Evan and Cash Culp right here, is there any damage, any permanent damage to that number 94 car? You saw him nosing into that inside wall. Not hard, but still, you never know with how iRacing and the damage model works. That little bump can, you know, upset the suspension, upset the steering, right? And that can make it really difficult for the car to drive. See the number 9 kind of bump that 94 out of the way. He's going to make this pass here for P6. But Evan's going to fight on this outside. He's going to squeeze him. And they're going to be side by side coming out here. You see Evan get into the wall. And that's going to end that battle right there. But you see the 9 making his way through the field, making that pass on to number 33. And Zach Klinsman easy. And he's going to try to chase down this number 13 of Dana Barchek. You see Kevin easily moving through this field, and he's really showing his guns right now. Like, he is a competitor, and he's going to be up there battling for this win potentially if he can stay out of trouble. You see Cash Culp and Tane Hodgson right now battling it out for this P2 spot. Cash trying to fend it off right now. Has been sitting in P2 for a good 15-ish laps right here. But you see Tane right over the back end of that number 57 Chevy Camaro. And he's going to try to take advantage of this track position. He's going to try to get around this 57. Maybe take a run at this poor Lyles fellow that's been leading every lap since the drop of the green flag. But look at this Kevin. He is already caught up to the back of this top 3 right here. Let's see how hard it's going to be for him to get around this number 21 and this number 57. I don't think it's going to be very hard with how fast he is right now. The number 9 trying to be a little patient with this 21 right now. A lot of laps to go, but you see Evan Clapper making the pass for P5 over his teammate of Dana Barchek right here. Evan trying to, you know, rework his way back up here. We know he's a very talented driver, and we know he's got the skill to go up here and compete for a win here. But unfortunately, and right now he's running about on pace with the lap times besides Corey Lyles. Corey Lyles right now running at high 5s where everybody else is running in the 6s right now. But we have a great battle right up here for this P2 spot. We have second, third, and fourth right back to back right here. And right now they're trying to find their way around each other. I think right now Cash is a little bit slower than these front two. But with how hard it is to pass here, as long as Cash can keep that car planted to the bottom, I think Tane might have to, you know, put the bumper to this number 57 to get him out of the way. You see number 9 get a nice run off the top, and he's going to go on the inside of this 21. We'll see how hard Tane is going to fight him for this 3rd place spot. I mean, and Kevin gets around him for P3 right here. But that's allowed Evan Clapper to come up here, because we have a caution. We have the 33 around here. See what happened here to Zach right here. Looks like he's battling the 2 Michigan University cars. And he literally gets double teamed by the 2 teammates of Diego and Maxwell right here. You see Max getting to the wall here. And then you see the 3 just kind of come up and door the 33, and along for the ride the 33 goes. I'm not going to say that's intentional, but that's just really bad luck for that number 33 car. I mean, getting taken out by two of the same cars. He's definitely not a Michigan fan at this current moment, to say the least, I can presume. But I think he's going to go a lap down because he had to spin that car back around, had to wait on others to go around, and it looks like he will go a lap down here. Unfortunate for that number 33 car. But as we saw in that foreground, you see all the leaders going down pit road. You see Dan, maybe forgot that pits were open, but he's going to come around now and pit that number 13 Indian car. I presume that's an Indian motorcycle car. Yes, that is. But Kevin Hunsaker right here trying to make a gamble. He's going to stay out. Looks like he did come down and take some fresh tires. He does have 19 laps on these tires versus Corey, Cash, Evan, and Tane, who just came down and got fresh Goodyear tires right here. It's in number 6 right here of Maxwell, a lap car. I think he wanted to try to get the wave around, but unfortunately Kevin staying out is gonna not allow him to get the wave around here, and he's gonna drop to the back end of this field. See that right front damage to that number 6 car. Maxwell probably not very happy with Kevin staying out right there, but that's just the name of the game sometimes. Kevin knows he has a fast car, and I think honestly 18 lap fresher tires is not going to be that much of an advantage, at least right now. Well, I'm very interested to see what the time difference will be between, just almost 15 lap fresher tires compared to everybody else in the top 5 right here who just came down and got fresh Goodyear tires. So we see Corey electing the outside. We see Kevin on the inside. Evan will be on the outside, and Cash Culp will round out your fast 4 right here. Seeing the foreground, Andrew White coming back around. Right now, currently 2 laps down. This has not been a good race for him, but long race here, and so see what he can do here. A pace car is in, and we're gonna have a new leader here at Martinsville as Kevin Hunsaker is gonna lead us to green here. And there's a huge stack up on the outside right there. I don't know if Corey did not anticipate them to going, but Cash Culp is going to take over that P2 spot. And here comes Tane Hodgson. He's going to race the 77 for the P3 spot. And I know that 77 is stuck on the outside, which is a very vulnerable spot here at Martinsville. And you see Evan is going to try to peek his nose down in there. And he's there. He's going to race the 77 off the corner. 77 not quite clear yet, but he is making a move on the outside of this 21 car, and he's going to give up that spot to that number 94. Evan Clapper up to P4 now. See Cash Culp blocking all those tires, but you see this battle for P3. This has been a battle for this P2 spot over the last 30 laps. This 57 and this 21 all over each other, and we have another caution out on track. As the Michigan cars have once again gotten into it again. I think Maxwell was the culprit of this one. It looks like he just lost it. And the 33 once again gets caught up in something out of his doing. And you see the 3 car just stopping on track. Diego right there. Just stopping on track. Trying to give his teammate all the room he can to get that car turned around. And once again, these 3 drivers getting caught up in another wreck. Definitely not what they want to be doing. So, but another caution out here at lap 69 of 125. This is going to allow Kevin to lead some more laps here. Obviously, I think you do get a bonus point for leading laps here in the Fast Cash Racing Products Cup Series, but I'm not sure. I presume it's probably like a bonus point. So Kevin, liking what he's seen right here with all these cautions, it's allowing this tire, it's allowing him to, stay out on these older tires right here, and let this tire difference, slowly slim its way forward. .70 of 120 of 250. My apologies, complete here. Let's go through your field here while we're under caution. You see Kevin here in the lead. Cash taking his P2 spot away. Tane in P3, I believe. Corey Lyles back here in P4. Evan rounding out your top 5. Staying with Barchek right here, 6th place. Diego going down pit road right now, but was 7th place. So he's gonna pass that 7th place over to Zach Klinsman. And you see Max right here. Maxwell right here in P8. Diego and Andrew White just coming out of the pits now, trying to get as much repairs as he can in that number 2 car complete. Trying to keep himself within the battle here. Right now he's got himself back down to 1 lap down right now. 4 cars currently 1 lap down to the leaders. Zach, Chris Maxwell, Diego, and Andrew White. So for anybody interested in that, the Drive Spark California race, brought to you by IDK Player. Currently on lap 126 at 250, it looks like we have. Well, we're waiting to see who's leading this race right here. Mullis and Kerwin right now battling out for the race lead right there with 126 and 125 complete there in that Drive Smart 500, sponsored by Drive Smart. But Kevin is gonna take this lead once again. He's gonna restart us. Cash Coop gonna be on the outside right here. Let's see if he can get a good jump on this number 57. And a pretty good jump, but Cash Coop also with a really good restart. Usually when you restart on the outside, it's kind of at a disadvantage, and you're kind of neglected all the way back there to that P3 spot. But you see that number 21 of Tane Hodgson trying to fight that back there on that inside. Cash almost clear, but not quite there. But you see Corey Lyles and Evan Clapper battling it out right here for this P5 spot, for this P4 spot, my apologies. And you see Cash getting tight right there. He's going to get up in the wrong. He's going to lose a bunch of spots right there. That's going to give Evan the P3 spot, but Corey Lyles is going to get around Evan, and Cash is going to race him side by side for this P4 spot. Now you have to think also, this league is an open set league. This isn't the iRacing fixed setup. So you almost have to think that, maybe some of these drivers just have the better setup. It's driving a little bit better. You've seen a lot of these drivers are almost a little bit tight and having issues under the braking zone. You see Evan getting a little upset right there. He's going to smack the wall right there. You have to think that some of these drivers just maybe the setup is not suited for them. They maybe had to just go out and quickly go find a setup that was decent, right? But not something that maybe was tuned toward their driving style. And maybe some of these drivers struggling with the setup that they were given, right? Corey Lyles already rebounding to a P3 spot, but you see Tane, trying to track down this guy, this number 9 car of Kevin, but Kevin almost with the second advantage over this number 21 car. Currently, your closest battle on track right now is between the 77 and this 94 of Clapper and Lyles. And we have another caution once again. And I think it's between the number 33 and the 6 again. We might, potentially might having some beef here with how much these two have been caught up and stuff. The 33 locking up the tires. See Diego just dumping the 33 and coming up and cleaning out his teammate. I'm not sure what this is all about, but this is the 3rd consecutive caution that has been between these 3 drivers. I mean, they definitely need to clean it up because, definitely these drivers that are up here trying to battle for, a top 5 and stuff, these guys are laps down. and wrecking, right? I mean, these drivers cannot be happy with these 3 drivers that are just continually wrecking, what, every 5-10 laps. See number 33 right there, towing over that car, not driving well. Obviously, he got KO'd into that inside wall, exiting the pits. So, fortunate for this number 33. I don't think Zach has really done anything wrong. He's just been continuously been getting cleaned out by those 2 Michigan University cars. So, currently 81 of 250 complete here, and no, only 2 lead changes. The 9 of Kevin, and of course we had Lyles leading the first big portion of this race. Corey, you know, let's see how many laps he did lead right here during that first part of the race. He led 50, almost, you know, 2/3 of this race right now. And now sitting in P3 in a good spot to potentially go back up and retake that lead. So, but as we still see the lights flashing on that pace car, we're going to see Andrew White coming back out of pit road. I think he's just trying to do damage control right now and try to get as much repairs as he can into these cautions. Really, Andrew, what he wants to see are those cautions because it gives him an opportunity to come down pit road, take probably what 20 seconds of damage off that timer, and then come back out and continue to try to race. See the choose cone right here. You see the 9 and the 21 electing the inside. You see Lyles electing the outside, so he's going to bump him up to P2 since staying elected to stay on that inside. You see Evan going to pick the outside line as well. And honestly, don't disagree with what Corey did there. I would definitely take the track position over, you know, starting behind the leader right here. The lights are off on the pace track. And Kevin will lead us back to green here. See what kind of launch you can get compared to this Corey Lyles. Once again, another great jump by Kevin. And the closest battle right here is going to be for P3 right here. Evan trying to get a good run off the top here. He's going to squeeze this 21 off. And they're going to be side by side going into turn 3 and 4 right here. Is the 21 gives a huge shot to the 77. Evan, you know, on that disadvantaged top right now is going to give that spot up to the 21. I was going to raise Cash Culp right here for this P5 spot. P4 spot, my apologies. Evan is going to clear to 57. He needs to get down there if he wants. No, he's going to elect to still give Cash the room right here. Very gentlemanlike by Evan. I mean, he was definitely clear, but didn't want to cut that number 57's nose off and potentially upset Cash. See Cash right here rebounding up to a P5. You know, he was running P2 for a majority of that first part of the run and made that mistake, getting up into the wall, lost a lot of that track position. You see him fighting back, trying to get back up into maybe that podium spot. See kind of the second. You see Corey, as I was going to talk about him, locks up those tires, and that's going to allow that 21 to catch back up. And you see second, third, fourth, and fifth, all back to back to back to back. Just waiting on one, trying to, you know, take advantage of maybe someone making a mistake. You saw Corey, as we were trying to talk about him, lock up those tires, and it allowed these 3 drivers behind him to catch back up. And that with Martinsville, with how short this track is, that's all it takes is one little mistake, and you got everybody all over your back end trying to take advantage of that mistake you made. See Corey slowly pulling away just a little bit from that 21. You see the 21 getting in the wall there. That's going to allow Evan to try to maybe take advantage here. Cash Culp starting to reel in this number 94 car. And this is going to be a battle for P4. See Evan right here trying to hold off this number 57 behind him, but, you know, once again, when it comes to Cash right now, it's easy to catch him, but it's going to be so much harder to pass him. You see this number 57 trying to get to the rear end of this number 94 car. See him locking up the tires. You see how easy it is right there. Really good camera work by the cameraman here over at High Velocity TV. And you're just going to continue to see Cash trying to make something work here. And as you heard, as we're on that gearbox cam, you hear some of these drivers, I think, was downshifting here. Let's actually go back on board with Evan. All the way down in the third. And you see him shifting up the fourth, so they are downshifting. I don't know if that's a setup thing. But let's go on board with Kevin and see if he's downshifting. He indeed. Actually, if you look at this telemetry right here, Kevin electing just to keep it in third instead of going up into that fourth. Very interesting. And obviously with the iRacing sets, the way that a lot of these drivers are set it up, there is no fifth gear. We have a caution. It's like Daniel Rybarczyk having an issue right here. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Like Dan maybe just cooking a little bit too much on exit. He's gonna loop that thing around and KO that inside wall. That's an easy thing to do here in these next shits, especially on these old tires, right? Dan on 35 lap old tires. That's it was getting in that time of the tire stage where the car was gonna start to drive a little bit differently, and you saw Dan just getting into just crack the throttle a little bit too much, and he's gonna loop that thing around. But we will probably be seeing everybody coming down pit road here, I presume. At least I could see. I can see maybe Kevin come down. He's got 55 laps on those tires. We'll see if they do decide to come down pit road here. No takers for pit road right now. Everybody electing to stay out right here, I believe. We might have some people going in trying to get some damage repaired, but I see 94 to 213 down pit road right there. See Andrew right there trying to come out, trying to get as much damage as he can, like we've been talking about earlier. Been caught up in some incidents out of his control. Once again, on an update on the Drive Smart 500. Right now, it looks like currently Wilson out there leading right now, with Casey Kerwin right now up there in the top 3. But it's so cool that we have, people, big time sponsors coming in and sponsoring these types of events right now. I mean, it really shows that like how much the sim racing market has grown, and it really does show, how much iRacing, right, and sim racing has come, right? And sooner or later, we'd love to have sponsors on the High Velocity channel here on twitch.tv/ChristopBoss13. But it is super cool to see that we have big time sponsors like Drive Smart and Hooters and with the Firecracker 400 and stuff like that, and NWP for another one of IDK Players events to coming on and sponsoring the events. It's so cool to see that we have people willing to pay out this cash to for sponsorship and stuff. But lights are off on the pace car, and the pace car should be going off this time by... There it goes. And we're going to let Kevin lead us back to green here. We do have the two leaders right here, starting on the front row here. Let's see if Kevin can get another great jump here like he has continued to do. And 3, 2, 1, we're green! Another great jump by that number 9 Napa Auto Parts machine. You've seen Evan already taking advantage of Cash Corp right there. He's going to move himself up in the P4 spot. Do you see the number 9 actually starting to gap the number 77 a little bit? And you see the number 21 all over the back end of this number 77. You see Evan trying to make a move onto the inside there. He's going to be right up on that rear end coming out of turn 2. You see Evan kind of like taking in a wider entrance and kind of arcing it down to get a better run off. You see he's kind of running that second lane, and then he's going to arc it down, try to get a better drive off. You see him close that gap on the straights, and he's going to try to look inside of this 21 car. See how hard Tane's going to race him. Not very hard. He's going to let that 94 by. I think he knows that Evan is a little bit quicker, and Evan's going to try to chase down this number 77 or Corey Lyles. But Kevin continues to gap this field right now, up to 7/10 of a second gap over Corey right here. And Evan is coming. We have a battle for P6 right back here as Andrew White gets past Diego right here. Andrew up to P6. And it's gotten back onto the lead lap, so good for Andrew right here. And he's going to come up on number 13 of Dan Rybarczyk right here. So 13 is trying to get around this number 6 car of Chris Maxwell right here. You see him get a little bit spooked, and that's going to allow number 2 to get inside. You see the 13 blinking a little bit. The 13 is going to be forced to back out. You see him get a little bit doored up by that number 3 of Diego. You see Andrew going to the outside here, trying to get around this 6 car of Max. Well, kind of overshoots the corner, and they're going to be side by side right here. I think the 6 actively trying to give him the spot here, but you kind of overshot the corner, and you're going to see the 13 also get around the 6 car. I think, no, he's going to get a little bit tight, get up in the wall, and he's going to let the 6 and the 3 get past. We'll go back up to this battle for the podium spot here. Evan, starting to close in on the 77. You saw as we spawned back on Corey. Corey locking up that left rear tire a little bit. And you can see on these cameras, we'll go into a zoomed in camera right here. You can see these tires, these brake rotors glowing right here. You see it. Just with how much they have to be on the brakes throughout this whole track. And you have to think with them being on the brakes so much, that's going to heat up those tires. And that's going to make that's going to warm them up. That's going to make those tires a lot less grippy on this track. Even with it, the track getting colder, it's not going to drive the best. You see Evan right now hounding this number 77, waiting on this number 77 to make a mistake, and he's going to try to make this move for P2. Right now, pretty even right now. Corey with a 19.36 to Evan's 3.9. See Evan get a little upset right there, locking up the tires. He's going to lose a little bit of time to the 77 car. Closest battle on track right here, I think, is still Evan and the 77 right here. Everybody else is kind of spread out quite a bit here. As Kevin has, started to stretch his lead out. He's almost up to a second over these Corey and Evan, who have continuing the battle for this P2 spot. And right now, allowing Kevin to get away. And it's so crazy to think that Kevin has, 25, almost a little under 20 lap fresher tires than Corey, and almost 50 lap fresher tires compared to Evan. Evan right now, probably with the freshest tires up here with 18 laps on those tires. At least that's what timing and scoring says. Getting word from Zach right there that his engine's toast and he's done. So unfortunate for Zach right now, sitting 40 laps down. I mean, it's tough to hear. So I see people redeeming my posture check. I'll make sure to be doing that as we have a caution right here. We saw it live on camera as Evan is losing it as well. What just happened here? I'm not sure what happened to Evan right there, but we saw the 77 of Corey Lyles getting in the back end of the 6 car right here. And like hooked the 6 car. I'm not sure what happened here. Yeah, he just gets in the back end and gets the 6 upset. And you see a lot of front end damage to this number 94 car. We'll go on board with Corey and we'll go to this gearbox cam. And a huge shot to the back end of that car, and it actually damages the front end of that number 94 Sunoco machine. Not anywhere for Evan to go there. And you can see right there, Evan trying to collect that car. But we're under caution once again. We see Kevin deciding to stay out, but we see Corey, Tane, and lots of drivers in pit road right now. So see Corey electing to take some fresh Goodyear tires. He's going to try to restart up here. And really, I don't blame him for, coming down here. I think he will be the first car out of pit road here. And that will give him, 70 lap fresher tires right here. He's going to probably be starting like P2, I think. It says Diego right now currently in P2. I don't think he pit. We'll see if Diego will pit here. Wait, it says Diego did pit. And he came out with the P2 spot. So we'll see how this stacks up. But if that's the case, that is one heck of a strategy call by Diego. Maybe he came down, got fuel only or something. Right now, Diego right now, sitting in P2. He's starting in P11. Outside the top 10. Right here, he's sitting here. Potentially going to try to race for the lead right here. Now lights are off on the pace car. And this number 9 car is going to lead us back to green. Great jump by that number 9 car. Great jump by that number 21 as well. One's going to look on the inside of Diego right there, as well as Corey Lyles. You see number 3, KO that outside wall. You see Evan, looks like he has left the session as well. Corey Lyles out here trying to chase down the stuff, and that's actually allowed Andrew White to make up a ton of spots right now, sitting here in P4, and he's in a great spot to now race for a podium, even a race winner. Remember, because we have another caution. Trying to figure out where this is from. Oh, that was definitely the halfway caution. My apologies for that. You see his number 9 car come down pit road. I think that's going to be the second set of tires that he's going to be taking right here. I'm not sure how many sets of tires everybody else is taking. Let's see if I can find that out. It's like timing and scoring doesn't show me that. But unfortunate to see Evan out of the race. Unfortunate to see Dan out of the race. Evan very quick, but it looks like that car was beat up so much that it wasn't worth trying to limp that thing back around. So unfortunate for Evan and Dan in their series debut here. Unfortunate. Now with only 7 cars left on the track and 6 of them on the lead lap, this is really showing down this field. So really, I mean, if you can finish out this race, you're probably getting a top 5 at this rate. So these guys just need to try to keep this racing clean and be there at the end. I think is the best bet for everybody. We have a little blink out here. Apologies. Lights are still on the pace car right here. And you see Tane leading his first laps here at Martinsville. And I mean, we just got to the halfway point. Some of these drivers have to, I think, we need to learn that, you know, there's a lot of racing. You know, 250 laps is a long, long way. So, they got to learn to try to, you know, keep these cars clean. Lights are off on the pace car, and you're going to see with number 21 on the inside, Corey Lyles on the outside. Pace car is going to come into pit road right here. And Tane is going to lead us to green here after we get out of this last corner, and we're going to go into the go restart zone to complete lap 132 of 250. Tane is going to lead us into there. And you see Andrew White going to sneak into that bottom, and he's going to take advantage of that and potentially take P2 right here. Tane, you know, with a good gap right here. But we know Andrew's going to be fast. You know, he's going to be aggressive to try to get up there and take the spot away. Everybody on around the same lap amount of tires. Kevin right now with the freshest with 5 lap-old tires. Everybody else with around 15-ish. And we have another caution. Kevin having an issue here. Let's see what happened. He was on the freshest tires, so... maybe the cold tires bit him right here. This gets loose, and there he goes. Luckily, no damage to that car. Maybe just a damage of ego. But definitely got those tires warmed up now. So, but once again, not really a lot to lose right now. 7 cars on track, 6 on the lead lap. So he's just gonna fall back to 6. I think is where he was anyways. So, we will go under caution again. Once again, Tane leading here. We're at lap 135. Tane currently leading. Eight laps, so, and he's going to continue to lead more if we keep getting these cautions and allowing him to keep this track position. So, currently, you see, in my opinion, I could see any one of these drivers coming out here with a victory. I don't. Diego, if he can get that car fixed, I could even see Diego coming out here. We know Tane's fast. We know Andrew White is fast. We know Corey's fast. We know Cash has been up there battling. Diego, hasn't had the best luck, but he's still in here kicking. And Kevin, led part of this race. And then Chris Maxwell got the lucky dog here, so he's also going to be on the lead lap. So everyone that is on track here, all 7 cars on the lead lap here with 137 complete here. So still a lot of racing here to go. And any one of these drivers are in contention right now to come out here with a victory. As we will be choosing this time, you see the 21 and the 2 elect the inside. 77 is going to take the outside, along with the 57. Looks like the 3 is going to take the inside and 9 the outside. You see the number 6 of Maxwell taking the inside as well. Lights off on the pace car. And Tane will lead us to green one more time. The pace car dipping down pit road here. You see these cars come around turn 3 and 4 right here. And we're going to hand this race back over to Barney. And we're going to be green. Going to lap 139. We have the 9 car spinning around here, and that'll be a caution. We saw them having issues with these new tires, it seems. Just getting a little squirrely right there, and we saw it live. Just coming out and getting a little squirrely. And, whipping it around, but like I said, 7 cars on track, 7 cars on the lead lap. And that 9 car definitely isn't out of it, so. We'll take a look back to see, what caused this 9 car to get a little squirrely here. Coming in 3 and 4 here. Looks like he just catches that curve and can't collect it, and he spins it out. So, like I said, unfortunate loss of ego again, but definitely not out of it. You know, with 7 cars left here in the race, I mean, you can easily come out of here with the top 5, even probably a podium with how fast all these drivers are and the mistakes that have happened throughout the race. So, Payne continues to lead here at Martinsville. Corey second, Andrew third, Cash Culp sitting right there in P4. Kevin's gonna be 5th, and then Diego looks like Kent coming out of pit road 6th, and Maxwell still in the pits, gonna be a 7th place driver. Now tomorrow, these Cup drivers go to Nashville, and I'm not sure if there will be a broadcast or not. High Velocity TV right now, very small broadcasting company, and I don't know if we can find the right facilities to actually get a broadcast up. But there is still a chance. But these drivers will be going to Nashville tomorrow, so be sure if there is a stream to be looking out for that. But yeah, still a long ways to go here. Almost 105 laps to go. So still a long ways to go for these drivers. As we see the 21 taking the inside along with the Andrew White, see Corey and Cash electing the outside. And once again, Payne is going to lead us to green here with 105 to go. And we're going to be green. Andrew White trying to look underneath the 77 there. Just couldn't get the momentum to get on this. Who's going to like to drop behind the 77. To the 77, trying to catch this 21 car. See Kevin already getting around Cash Culp right here, so putting himself in the P4 spot. Cash showing the lag back a little bit behind his front pack. We know Cash has the speed. He had the speed at least. I don't know if there might have been some damage here. See the 6 having some issues right there, getting into the wall once again. Chris currently sitting at P7. He's going to get into the wall again. That car does not look like it's driving very well. Alright, now I battle for the P3 spot. See Andrew still trying to make up time on this number 77. Number 77 goes wide. It's not what Corey wants to see there. But now you see the number 9 coming in, trying to put that Dell button on the 2. Is going to go to the inside of Andrew right here. I think will Andrew race him down here? I think he will. The number 9 is going to take the spot away from number 2, and he's going to try to chase down that number 77 to Corey Lyles right here. Try to take this second spot away. With all that battling, you saw Cash Culp catch back up to this front 5 here. Cash trying to look underneath the number 2, just not didn't get his nose in there quite enough. He's going to continue to sit here in P5. See Andrew White still trying to keep up with this number 9 car. We know this number 9 has the freshest tires by about 5-ish laps. So, I mean, an advantage is his advantage. And you saw him drive through and now sitting at P3. Let's see if he can catch up this number 77. But speaking of that, you see Tane getting pressured by this number 77 of Corey Lyles for this lead here. I know Corey's fast, but we also know Tane has led some laps here. This is going to be a great battle for this lead right here. Corey get a little loose right there. We're gonna have to back out of it. Doesn't lose too much time. We see this top four kind of under a blanket right here. Everybody right on each other. You see Cash starting to lag behind just a little bit behind compared to these top four. And I mean, we're going to probably see it. These are probably the four that are going to be racing for this win here. You see the 21 starting to get a little tiny bit of more of a gap to 77, but you see the number 9 car pressuring Corey right here. Right now, at this point, I wouldn't even worry about trying to get track position right now. With, 90 laps to go here, there's still a lot of time for you to save tires. I'm not sure how fuel looks here at Martinsville with this next gen, but still a lot of time to strategize, to make plans, and to make moves later in the race. Right now, I wouldn't jeopardize putting my car in a bad spot to try to race for the lead right here with 90-ish laps to go. So, but on the plus side, with so many few cars, we're probably not going to see a caution unless it's someone self-spinning, which I would hope would not happen. You see Tane blinking out right there. So we should be going green to green here, hopefully, for the rest of this race. See Andrew White right here, pressuring this number 9 again. You see this count and mouse game between this top four. Like you'll see someone catch up to the back end of someone. As we see Cash Colt having an issue back here. And that might be a caution. And there is a caution right there. We saw it in the background right there. Just Cash throttling it up a little bit too much. Getting up into that wall here. And being parked backwards on the track right there. Almost a scary moment for that. I think that's the 6 or maybe the 3 of Diego. But good by them to get around this car, and good for Cash to keep it up there, trying to be predictable. And we're going to be under caution here. With 90 to go here at Martinsville. Cash, you see the number 3 Diego down here at pit road. Probably electing to take some tires, maybe get some damage fixed. You see Kane down pit road, getting some good fresh Goodyear tires. So giving up the lead right there to put some tires on this car. And he's gonna have about 40 lap fresher tires compared to Corey Lyles right now, who's gonna pick up the race lead from Tane. We would be talking to some of your drivers through the race, but for people that don't know, Discord had a little mishap where some servers were just like getting shut down in a way. That's the best way I can describe it, is that like you couldn't join the server. So unfortunately the Discord for this league was under construction, I guess is the best way to call it. And so there's not a lot of drivers sitting in the VC right now to talk to. So no driver interviews during the race, but hopefully we can get some drivers in so we can talk to our top 3 at the end of this race. Another update on the Drive Smart 500, sponsored by Drive Smart, of course. Looks like they're on lap 186 at 250. And it looks like they're under green flag pit stops right now. As we see Jimmy Molis, it looks like, leading. Casey Kerwin second, and Malik Ray rounding out your podium right there in the Drive Smart race. And it's so cool also to see that, for that event they got Coke drivers, they got a lot of NR Night in America, regulars in there. So it's a very diverse group. You have some streamers in there. You have, Joey Stone, who streams on Kick. You have Jonathan Cadell or Steel Horse Live on Twitch, also participating in that race. Obviously, well known that Casey Kerwin streams as well. But going back green here, and Corey Lyles will lead us to green here. With 86 to go here at Martinsville. Cash gets a way better jump than Corey does here. I wonder if Cash was the leader, so he had the jump. But Corey's going to take that spot away from Cash. And Cash is going to rebound to P2. You see Diego up here in P3, putting the bumper to the 57. And that's going to kind of stack up everybody behind him. You see the 21 on those fresh Goodyear tires are going to take advantage of Diego right here. He's going to make that pass for P3. You're going to see this number 9 car kind of put the bumper just a little bit to that number 21 car. And Kevin will move his way up to 4th. See if Andrew White can pass this number 3 car as well. Side by side with Diego right here. And an easy pass for Andrew right here. He's going to move his way up into 5th. But Corey Lyles is checked out a little bit from Cash in the 21 and the 9 here. Corey did this similar thing in other races he's done. So we're right now a second out to Cash Corp right here. And I think Cash is just struggling with the handling of this car right now. It was really quick in the first start of this race, but it has gotten dark since he was up there battling for this P2. The lights have come on here at Martinsville, and I think with how cold the track has gotten, let's take a look at your weather right now once again, just to see the difference in the temperature. That's 67, and the track temp is probably a lot colder now than it was earlier, with it just being night and stuff. But you're going to see the number 9 put the bumper to the number 57 right here. I think Kevin is starting to get impatient. He knows that he needs to get up to Corey if he wants to fight for this win. And I think he knows that Cash is a little bit slower and he needs to try to get around this 57. But once again, it's easy to get to someone. It's so much harder to pass, especially here at Martinsville, with how consistent and how, if you can just wrap that bottom line, it makes it really hard for the guy behind you to pass. You see number 9 gonna finally make the pass on his 57. That's gonna let the 21 try to get on the inside of this number 57, but Cash closes the door, and the 21's gonna drift behind this number 57. But now I'm interested to see. Kevin does have the fresher tires compared to Corey. I want to see if he can get up there and try to catch this guy with the clean air. No, he doesn't have to worry about having to battle anybody right now. So I want to see. I know Kevin is quick. I know Corey's quick. Tane has looked really well throughout this race as well. See Andrew White behind Tane as well. So we'll see what these drivers can do to try to catch up to this number 77 and try to take this win away from Corey. We're going to 75 to go right here. We're about 3/4 of the way done with this race. And we've had a diverse group of leaders right now. We have Corey who's led. We've had Kevin who's led. Tane has led a couple. We have Andrew. I think he was the pole sitter, was he not? He was, so he technically led a lap. I think Cash is the only one who hasn't led any laps right now. That's okay, you know. Cash is up here running in the top 5. He's going to get a great finish for himself. Diego right here in P6 trying to just limp this car around. And Max has been struggling with this car all night. Sitting right here in P7. The last car that's still left on the track. And now you see everybody starting to get spread out. About an equally the top 3 is spread out, but right now Tane is starting to get hunted down slowly by this number 2 car of Andrew White. We know Andrew's quick, and we know, I mean, he qualified on the pole. We know he has the speed to go up here and potentially race for a win here. Looking at this, I didn't even think about this, guys, but there is a timer on these iRacing sessions right now. And currently, there's 22 minutes left in the session. I think that's plenty, but if we keep continuing to wreck here, you know, those minutes are going to start to tick down pretty quickly. So we only have 22 minutes left in the session. So if it comes down to give or take, right, what will happen for fans at home that don't know about that? If we get down to where the session will come down, basically it doesn't matter if it says on the ticker 5 to go or 10 to go. The drivers will get the white flag lap, and that will be the race for the win right there. So if that does happen and the ticker starts to malfunction, that will be the reason why. So if I start to call the white flag lap, that will be the reason why. See, Kevin actually taking the lead away from Corey as we're riding on board with Andrew. And as you can see, if you look at the cockpit, you can see some lap traffic coming up. You see the number 6 of Chris Maxwell having some issues. You see, ooh, Kevin having to save that car. But you've seen this lap traffic starting to come in play here. We didn't think we'd have to see it with only 7 cars here, but we know Maxwell's been struggling with the handling of this car all race. So we'll see if he's going to be willing to fight to try to stay on the lead lap, if he's just going to pull over. He knows he's not in contention to probably win without something drastic happening. Maybe he'll just pull over and let these guys have it. And number 9 gets side by side with the 6 car. We're going to easily make the pass here. Corey Lyles pursuing right there in second. You see Tane right behind this number 77 as well. You know, trying to keep the bubble close. And you even see Andrew White, this top 4, kind of still, you know, Andrew right now in 4th, only a second behind Kevin right here. So with even one little mistake by any of these guys, any of these top 4 can take advantage and potentially gain some track position or even take the lead out of this. So right now, by far, this is the closest battle on track right now. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, all side by side. You see Andrew White. What a save by that driver. Got that car super sideways. Had to catch it. He's gonna lose a bunch of time, but we know he's got a fast car, and I believe that he can go back up there and make up that time back. I think Andrew right now just trying to get himself recomposed again, trying to figure out why that car did that, right? Because a lot of the times, you know, when that happens, you're like, what the heck? Why'd that happen, right? I've been doing the same thing for 50, 60 odd laps. Why did it snap like that? You saw him lock up that left front just a little bit. But I think he got more composed again. But he is a 1.5 seconds behind these front 3 right now. And speaking of that, Tane and Corey still trying to battle this out for this P2 spot. And Kevin is starting to slowly pull away. 0.7 of a second gap to these top 3 right here. We'll see if these other 2 have something for this number 9 car. .58 laps to go here at Martinsville, and you got to think that fuel's gonna have to be some type of issue. Like they the person that pitted has the oldest tires right now is we're watching is Corey Lyles, 72 laps on his tires. So I'm not sure 72 plus 57. I'm not good at math, but that's what 120-ish laps. I'm not sure if they can go that long on fuel. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, and they are solidly good on fuel, but you got to think that some of these guys might be on the bubble of not making it. I know that Tane only has 34 laps on his tires. He's probably solidly good on fuel. Same with Cash. Same with maybe Chris and Diego. We'll see. But Corey and Kevin right now, and also Andrew White, 76, 75, and 68 laps on their tires respectively. So I'm not sure if fuel's going to be an issue for them. $54 laps to go here, and let's take a run through the field here. See Kevin right here, leading the race. Started third, made his way up to first. See Corey Lyles started second, currently running second. Mr. Consistency right here at Martinsville. Corey right now in P2, about a second behind your leader. Kane started 8th and has made up 5 spots here, running in P3. So what a recovery drive by Tane. I mean, he had a chance to have a good race at Atlanta a couple weeks ago, and just couldn't get it done. Just couldn't get help from others. Those Ford Performance Fords really dominated that Atlanta race. Andrew White right now sitting in 4th. He was your pole sitter, so kind of has slid back a little bit, but still in very good hands right here, sitting in P4 with 50 going to 50 laps to go here. You know, there's still quite a bit of laps to go here, and anybody can make a mistake here in these closing laps with the pressure closing down. Cash Club right now running P5th, started 4th, so kind of running around where he would. And then Diego just getting lapped by your race leader right now, running P6. First car lap down, and then you saw Chris Maxwell a couple of laps ago getting lapped again, but your second car 1 lap down, and it looks like he's in contention of getting lapped in this next coming lap. So Chris needs to start to pick up the pace a little bit if he wants to stay 1 lap down. McCann continuing to lead this race. We do have a battle right here. Tane and Corey Lyles starting to get close once again. You see Tane's going to go underneath the 77 car. Remember, the 77 does have a lot older tires. He's going to concede that spot, and Tane is going to go up to P2. So Tane has, on the dot, 40 lap pressure tires. So you have to think about that. Maybe, those pressure tires are gonna start to come into handy here. And you even see Andrew White starting to catch the back end of the 77 car. Corey might be in some trouble right here. See Andrew right here trying to close in. See, they're gonna be in a really weird spot right here. 3 wide. And Andrew's gonna take advantage of that mistake. He's gonna take over that P3 spot. My apologies. Yeah, I think Corey might be in some trouble right here. It looks like the handling of that car has gone away very quickly. And with 44 laps to go, I mean, they're running what? High 19s. So, I mean, there's high 19s. What? That's about around four laps a minute. So 40. So what? I'm saying like 20. I mean, I'm saying this now. The timer might become an issue here at Martinsville. Only 14, my apology. 14 minutes left in the session with 43 to go. These drivers are going to be calling it close when it comes to, making this race all the way when it comes to the timer system. So when you make a session in iRacing for people, the fans at home, right? You put a time like, okay, we want this race to, we have the timer set to it can only last 3.5 hours or something like that. And then once, and you pay for that time for the session. So if you go exceed that time, basically the drivers will be given a white flag lap within like I think a minute left of the timer, and then they will race it out right there and then. It doesn't matter. It could be 100 to go, and if there's only a couple minutes left, they'll give those drivers the white flag lap. Currently, your closest battle right now is for this P2 spot. Andrew White has caught this 21 car very quickly, even though this 21 car does have the freshest tires by far in the field. Andrew's really done a good job saving his stuff up. He's going to try to make a run at this 21 car. See Andrew doing a really good job just wrapping that bottom line right there. But also you see when he does that, he gets a little bit worse exit off because he kind of has to wait on that car to rotate around, especially on these old tires. You see Tame getting just a little bit better off. He's kind of almost arcing the corner, if you want to call it that. So, see he's not really getting down onto that bottom line. He's kind of just letting the car rotate on exit, and it's helping him turn a little bit more. Right now you see this number 2 car is just trying to hound this 21 the best he can. And 37 to go here at Martinsville. You got to think that these drivers need this number 9 car to make a mistake to give him a chance. I mean, this Kevin has gapped this field. He's got a 3-second gap on second place right now. Tane, see number 6 car slapping the wall again, but he is checked out, man. And he has the second oldest tires in the field. No, third oldest tires actually. Andrew White actually surprisingly has the oldest tires with 96 laps on those tires. Corey Lyles with 95, and Kevin with 88 laps on those tires. But we're gonna go back to the battle for this P2. This 21 has not been able to shake off this 2 car at all. And we're coming close to 30 laps to go. I mean, this is about go time here at Martinsville. You know, for a mile and a half for a super speedway. For a super speedway, I would say like 10, maybe even 5 to go is the time you gotta go. A mile and a half, so I would say 15-ish laps to go is when you want to start pushing. But here, 30, I would say 30, 20 laps to go is when you want to start making moves to try to, you know, get these spots at the end of this race. But you see Andrew being very patient with this 21 car. Just trying to, if he gets a run, he's going to take it, but he's not definitely going to put the bumper to him right now. It's definitely not the time to do the bump and run. Corey Lyles has definitely fallen off. Unfortunately, we thought he was the guy to beat, but 4 seconds behind your P3 driver of Andrew White, and then Cash 6 seconds behind Corey right here. 15 seconds behind your race leader of Kevin Hutziker. So, I mean, Cash potentially in contention of going a lap down as well. You see, and you see that number 9 car within camera shot of this 57 in the review on the back straightaway here. But still, the closest battle on track out here is this 21 in this 2 car. With 30 to go here. Laps winding down very quickly here with about 20-second lap times here. So they're making about, what, 3 laps a minute. And with 30 to go, yeah, I mean, it's going to be close. 10 minutes left on this timer. So we might get a weird glitch with the ticker, because I don't think they're going to be able to make all these laps up. 30 with 9. Right now we're sitting at 9:05 left in the session for the timer. With 27 laps to go, we haven't done this yet. Let's do a good old-fashioned high velocity TV. Crank it up. 20 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway, and you got to think that there's some of these drivers starting to wrap it up and stuff like that. You see, still a good battle right here between Hodgson and Andrew, but besides that, I mean, Kevin has extended his lead out to 4 seconds now. When we last talked about it, he was up there about 3. He's extended it to 4 seconds now, and without a caution, I don't think that the second and third are going to be able to get to them at all. 18 to go. It's going to be close on the timer, I still think, with 5.5 minutes left on the timer. I think they're going to be able to get the race in now. I do take back that statement. I think they might be able to get all these laps in. It's going to be close. It was 18 divided by 3 is what? 6? And we have 5.5 now, so they're going to barely get this race in officially. $15 to go here. Still the closest battle on track is this battle for P2 right here. Kevin has continued to pull this lead out for, I mean, it's almost 5 seconds now since we've talked about it. We have Cash Colt having an issue. Almost a caution right there. What happened to him? Cash was 76 laps on those tires. Probably not. None of these cars are probably driving that well anymore. What a save, though. That should have been a caution, and that looks like that inside wall really helped save that car. And that was in front of your second and third place drivers, too. So what a save by Cash to, you know, keep that thing straight. As you see, Andrew trying to get a little bit antsy again. I think Andrew thinks he's faster and wants to get around this guy. I'm coming 10 to go here. Andrew does not have a lot of time. I mean, you see him being super patient, and that's one thing I will give him. He's being super patient. He's being super respectful. Because it's so easy to just be like, well, I don't want to race you anymore, and just poof, off he goes, right? So it's I'm really surprised. So he gets a little bump right there. Nothing egregious, but on board with Payne right here. But you can see, I mean, I think Andrew's gonna start to get a little bit fed up with this. I think he knows he's faster, but Tane, you know, like I said, it's one thing to catch someone, it's another to pass them, right? So as we have a caution. No way. Take a look to see where that caution was from. I don't see any imminent damage on anything. It looks like, oh, it looks like Cash. And Diego getting into it. Cash is looping it around. I mean, okay. But that's exactly what I mean. Kevin is banging his wheel. He's desk slamming his wheel or something because he had this race wrapped up in the bag, and now this brings everybody back in it. Even Corey Lyles is back in it, who was struggling so bad. Right? This brings Corey. This brings in Tane, and it brings back Andrew. Right? I was interested to see that battle for P2, honestly, between Andrew and Tane. I wanted to see what Andrew was willing to do to get around him. Was he going to put the bump into him? We see Andrew coming down pit road. We see Kevin and Tane electing to stay out. Bold strategy for them. We see Corey coming down pit road right now as well. So basically the top four, the fast four right now, splitting this caution. So we have Kevin and Tane electing to stay out, along with Cash, it looks like. No, Cash is a lap down, my apologies. And then you see Andrew and Corey. Yeah, we see Tane come down pit road right there. Sorry, that was my mistake. And we're not live right there, so everybody but the leader elects to come in and take tires. So, I mean, this is going to really show how tires affect the way this car drives. I mean, once again, it's going to be green-white checkered territory, I believe. I'm not sure how many green-white checkers the league has as well, so this is gonna dice everything up. This is exactly what these guys that were struggling with the handling needed. And now, I think Kevin is probably in the worst spot now with 120 laps on those tires. Can he hold off these drivers for this green-white checker? We'll stay tuned and we'll find out right here at High Velocity TV. Lights are off on the pace car. And get ready, fans at home. Get on your feet, dude. This is gonna be an exciting finish right here. Green, white, checkered here at Martinsville, and Kevin's gonna lead us to green. And right now, great jump. Now, can he hold these guys off for 2 more laps? Looks like everybody's gonna stay clean right here, going into 3 and 4. It's Corey Lyles misses the corner. And that's going to give Andrew White an opportunity at this in caution. Corey Lyles brings out another green-white checker finish right here. Let's take a look and see what happens here. See, he's already locked up those front tires, and it just looks like the back end stepped out on him. He misses everybody. And then it looks like the Cash Gulp gets in the back end of the 21, and the 21's trying to check up for the 77. Looks like the 21 gets in and gets bumped into, and then the 77 just incidental contact from the 21 gets spun back around. But I swore I could have thought that if you look at the number 9 car right here, I mean, that's close. I mean, he was that close. He was that close to getting to the white flag and just racing Andrew for this win. Now that's going to bring everybody back in here to race for this win right here. Andrew White probably is not very happy with that either, because I think Andrew, with the fresher tires, probably had an opportunity to win this race, and now he's going to have to restart and try to redo what he just tried and mimic what he just did here and try to get to this back bumper of this 9 car, or even pass him on this restart. to try to get in here and win this race. So green white checkered attempt number 2 here at Martinsville for the Fast Cash Racing Products Cup Series. I'm not sure how many green white checkers this league has. So we'll see how many times these drivers are willing to do this. Lights are still on the pace car, but we'll be going one more lap around here at Martinsville. $15 laps to go in the Drive Smart 500 on the IDK YouTube channel, IDK Player YouTube channel right now. So that race also starting to count down right there, and it looks like a very exciting finish will be happening there. It looks like maybe some fuel strategy at play right there as well. So it looks like an exciting thing to do. So if we do get this race over before they do, we will probably go send you guys over to there. But lights are off on the pace car, and the pace car will be coming down this time by. And we'll try for this green white checkered for the second time. The number 9 of Kevin Hunsaker is going to lead us to green. And he's going to have to try to replicate this one more time. See Andrew White kind of putting the bumper to the 77. And Andrew's right in that same prime position to try to race for this win right here. What will Andrew White do to win this race? Is there going to be clean right here? White flag here at Martinsville. Will he put the bumper to him? He does put the bumper to him. Will he get the launch off? No! And Kevin Hunsaker with the strategy call is going to win at Martinsville. What a race. What a finish. I'm going to tell you now, I did not expect that to happen. With him on 130 lap old tires compared to everybody else who took those freshies. I did not expect him to hold those people off. But I do want to go back and look at that incidental contact between him and Corey Lyles in the number 2 of Andrew White here. That's very weird. You see, I mean, he definitely sends it in, but that just rips the whole front bumper off that car. That's very strange. You see him locking up the tires because, I mean, he was trying to send it in. I mean, this is for the win. And you see that ultimately destroys his car. You see Payne getting past there, and then, he gets cleaned out at the end. I mean, Andrew trying to give the car everything he has, spins it around, hits the inside wall, and just cleans out that number 77 at the end of the race. But with that, we're going to go ahead and take a look at your results for the day's race. Kevin Hunsaker makes the bold strategy call, staying out on old tires, and wins the race. Andrew White comes out in P2. Tane Hodgson comes out with the podium spot. Corey Lyles P4, Cash Culp P5, Diego Rodriguez P6, and Chris Maxwell rounding out the cars that finished the race. Evan Clapper is going to finish out P8. Daniel Barczyk P9. Zachary Klinsman P10. Cooper Nash is going to be P11. Joseph Tucker P12. And Matthew Gary is going to round out your field. As we see Kevin burning it down right here. A very long race, but a very entertaining finish, to say the least. Well, we have Tane in the booth right now, so let's see if we can get a word with him. Hey, Tane, is Christian up in the booth? You got a copy? So you sneak into a P3 finish right there after Corey having that incidental contact with Andrew White. So just walk me through your race and walk me through that green white checker finish. Yeah, I definitely agree. Very long race, but it seems like especially you and Andrew putting up a good show at the end before that caution came out. You two battling for that P2 spot. But anybody you want to shout out for this P3 finish? Any friends, family, any sponsors? Yeah, I definitely agree that they definitely put on a different type of show for the fans on at home. But congrats on this P3 finish. I'm gonna drag you back down to celebrate for with teammates, friends, and family, and hopefully we can talk to you next week. That was Tane Hodgson, your P3 finisher. I do not. We see Andrew White up here joining the general VC. We'll wait on him to unmute and see if we can get him to talk. If we can get a good shot of Andrew's car here, right here. Maybe not. Yeah, let's talk with Andrew. Hey, Andrew, it's Christian up in the booth. Got a copy? You muted if you don't know Andrew, but it's Christian up in the booth. Got a copy? Righty, it seems we have lost Andrew, but great run for Andrew. Up there battling continuously all race long for that P2 spot. He had a really good shot at battling for that win there, and just come up a little short there. So, but still a great race for him. Great recovery. Remember, he got caught up in those first couple of cautions, gave himself a lot of nose damage. So, great recovery for him. And Kevin, we know, does not his Discord or whatever does not work properly. So we will not be talking to your race winner, unfortunately. But a great race for Kevin. Also a really good recovery. Remember, he spun out several times and it caused a couple of cautions and stuff like that. And for him to come back on 130 lap old tires to come back and win this race, that is immensely impressive. To hold those guys off twice on a green white checkered. So congrats to Kevin right there. But once again, we're going to go through your race results and then we're going to send you guys on home. So once again, Kevin Hunsaker, your winner here. Andrew White coming out P3. Tane Hodgson rounding out your podium. Corey Lyles, heartbreak for him, had a chance to win this race. Comes out P4. Cash Colt P5. Diego Rodriguez P6. Chris Maxwell comes out P7. Evan Clapper P8. Daniel Barczyk P9. Zach Klinsman P10. Cooper Nash comes out P11. Joseph Tucker P12. And Matthew Gary going to round out your field here. But from everybody here at Fast Cash Cup Series, we appreciate all the love and support. Thank you for anybody that came in and watched the stream, supported the stream. Unfortunate for some of you guys that got it right that early, but there's always tomorrow at Nashville. And once again, We may or may not be here to broadcast the Nashville race. So please, if you're new to the channel, if you're new, please hit that follow button, hit that bell notification so you can know when we're broadcasting this league every Thursday, every Friday, and potentially Saturday. So from everybody here over at High Velocity TV, my name is Christian Delgado, the voice of High Velocity TV, and we will see you guys soon. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday night, and enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you guys soon. I love you guys so much. Peace out, guys.